Are you ready for the night of nights? The night of nights. It's gonna be a night to remember.
It's the Pesto Pod, the Pesto Pod, the Pesto Pod.
Hi everyone and welcome to the Pesto Pod. I'm sorry I've been a little bit MIA and I will tell you exactly why. I can't work technology. I'm a caveman from BC and I just don't know how anything works. I hate computers. I hate Wi-Fi. I hate brain waves and electricity and screens and media. And I want to go off the grid and live in a grass field and maybe just become one with the water cycle. I want to be evaporated into a cloud and then come back down as precipitation and land in a pond with koi fish. That's what I want. But instead, I'm stuck on my fucking Mac trying to get GarageBand to work. Here's the thing. When I film my podcast, I record the audio separately and then I record it on my camera. And I know that there are ways to record both at the same time, but I don't have the proper microphone jack and whatnot. So the simplest thing for me is to just record the two separately, and then in editing I go back and I sync them. It's really not that deep. But what has been happening is I use GarageBand to record my audio, and GarageBand has been skipping. So when I sync the audio and the video, it will eventually go out of sync, which is so annoying. No one wants to watch a video where the sound is all poopy poopy canoopy. And if that happens this time, like, I don't know what I'm going to do, I guess. I'll just fucking probably kill myself. But basically it would skip every like 2 minutes or so. So I'd be watching the video and I'd have to just like constantly resync the video and the audio. It was so fucking tedious and annoying, and it was taking me hours to edit what usually takes me like 20 minutes. So I was getting so frustrated and so overwhelmed, and I said, fuck this, fuck that, fuck you, fuck me. And I said no podcast last week. Housekeeping also briefly, I'm going to switch the podcast to Wednesdays because I have a new class that is Monday nights, and it's very hard for me to film and edit on Mondays to get it out by Tuesday. So we're going to switch to Wednesdays. I don't want to bore you with the details. Okay? That's the tea. If you have a problem with it, I don't care. Wednesdays are going to be the new Pesto Pod day. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. What have I been up to? Great question. I went home 2 weeks ago for Easter, not for the holiday itself, because I'm not really religious, and Easter to me is all about chocolate and bunnies and not really so much about, like, you know, the rolling away of the rock on the tomb. It's not so much to me about doubting Thomas. It's more, marshmallow peeps. Is that okay? So it just happened to work out like schedule wise for me that I would be free this week. And I went home. I live in Rochester. So I went home to Rochester to visit my parents and to see my elderly geriatric dog. And it was great. I love going home. I did make a TikTok about how I went out to a bar, and that was like a little bit jarring and harrowing because going to your hometown bar is like a very crazy experience. But other than that, I had myself a grand old time. Here's something kind of funny that happened. I saw Willow. Do y'all remember sweet little Willow baby? That was the dog that I fostered in the fall. And my sweet angel was adopted by someone in Rochester. And so I knew I was going to be home, and I texted her and I was like, I'd love to meet up and see Willow if that's okay. She was like, absolutely. And I was so psyched to see her. I was like, I wonder if she's going to remember me, blah, blah, blah. I get there, completely different dog. Like, first of all, she doubled her weight, which is so good because I think she was too skinny when she was with me, even though I was feeding her exactly what I was supposed to be feeding her. I don't want to hear it. Saw me, immediately bared her teeth and tried to bite me, which is crazy because Willow had the sweetest temperament with me, not aggressive at all. And the more I talked to her owner, I found that now she's like very skittish around people, aggressive to other dogs, and loves to bite and not be picked up, which is insane because I don't know if you guys remember, Willow used to like sleep on my lap and sleep in between my titties. So I was like, what the hell happened? She's a completely different personality of a dog. But I mean, you know, when she was with me, she had just gone through like a crazy trauma because she had just been rescued. So maybe now this is like really her true colors, and she's actually super negative. But it did make me really sad. And she eventually let me pet her, but she wouldn't let me hold her. And that made me so sad because she was so sweet to me. And I don't think it's like the owner's fault at all. I mean, she does have another dog who it doesn't like other dogs. So like maybe that's where she learned that. And that might like, because of the other dog being slightly aggressive, it might make her like protective. But the way she reacted to me, I was like, this is not the Willow that I know. It made me sad. But it's not my dog anymore. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to just watch her and, you know, long for what could have been. So that's the Willow update, the Will update. And it was like very overwhelmingly negative. And then I went out to the bar, which was weird. I saw a band I really liked, BB Dang. If you're ever in Rochester, New York, and you want to see a band, BB Dang, I would 10 out of 12 recommend. Whoa, 12 out of 10. That's crazy. And that's kind of it. We didn't do anything for Easter. I don't get no Easter basket. I don't get no bunny visit because I'm an old hag and I'm not a kid anymore, even though in my head I think that I am 12 years old. So that's a bummer. And then this week was really boring. The big news is that my fucking dance class is back. You know, it was the highlight of my week, me going to cardio dance with all the oldies. And now finally I can go again because it's back. And that was honestly the highlight of my week. And then the only other really exciting thing that happened recently is my college acapella group had their spring concert. And I went and got to see all my old acapella friends. And it was super, super fun and cute. It is really weird because I'm aging out, obviously. Like, I'm 2 years out of college, so every year I know, like, less and less girls. So it's, like, always a fun little reunion. But then they have a big after party, and at the after party, I'm always like, I don't belong here. You know what I mean? So, a little strange. And I'm sure eventually I will stop going to the after parties altogether. But I think I will always go to the concerts as long as I live in New York because I love acapella, and I love listening to acapella, and I love geeking out over acapella. So it was fun, but I felt a little bit like a washed up alumni because I am. And speaking of washed up alumni and also my hometown of Rochester, New York, what I want to talk about this week is something that is on my For You page very prevalently, and that is fucking prom. Are y'all hyped for prom? It's prom season. I keep seeing prom TikToks coming up, and I mean, I guess I don't really know anybody in high school anymore, so it's not like I'm like experiencing the joy through anybody. But so I think prom is just such an American like canonical experience. My prom sucked. So I went to all girls Catholic school, as we know. And the way that our dances worked, well, first of all, we had a junior prom. So junior year is when you have like the big prom, and then senior ball. And typically the rule was like junior prom, long gowns, and then senior ball, short dresses. But it was still like you got a corsage and a boutonniere, and like everyone took a limo. So it was still like fun and zesty. But junior prom was like the prom dress era. And fucking there would be like an Instagram account for the school, and it's like everyone submit your prom dress so that no one has the same dress. And then I'm like, this is just so stupid because now we're just seeing everyone's prom dress, and like my friends and I would just sit and go through them and rank them and be like, this one's ugly, which is like hilarious, but that's what Instagram's for, right? Then there was like the boys school. So like my Catholic girls school had like a counterpart boys Catholic school, and they had their own proms and balls. So if you're dating someone, if you are going to the Catholic girls school and you're dating someone from the Catholic boys school, life was really great for you. And that's clearly what the system wanted, was for you to date a nice Catholic boy so that you could go to the dances together. And it was weird because like when you bring a date, you had to like fill out a guest pass for them to go to the dance. But if they went to the boys' school, it was like all you had to do was send in their name so that they're on the list. But if you were bringing a date from like a different school or a public school or something, they had to fill out a like guest packet, and it had to have like references. Their principal had to sign it saying that they were in like good academic standing and could go to the dance, because obviously in like a perfect world they want all of us little Catholic girls to be dating the little Catholic boys, but that's just like not feasible. And also like you think that just because they go like they have to prove that they're like a good, wholesome, well-rounded boy to get to go to the dance. You think that the boys that go to this Catholic boys school are good, wholesome, well-rounded boys? These are affluent white teenagers, teenage boys. They're absolute garbage human beings. They're like the worst. They are. I know one kid from my graduating class in high school at the Catholic boys' school who has since been arrested for sex acts with a minor because he had sex with a 12-year-old girl. I don't know if I can say his name and like it's libel, but I'm telling you, like if you look up the name, there's a court case. There's like a whole fucking article because he is lewd acts with a minor. Hello. That's not very Jesuit, methinks. So that's insane. And also just like, I think back to the boys that went to the Catholic boys' school that was my counterpart, and it was like N-word hard R being said. Like just garbage human beings. All of them have endless money. Their dads are like lawyers, so they can do whatever the fuck they want. Like they're all garbage, trash people from the swamp, from the muck of the earth. Hate it. And then just the fact that like it was so like, these are good, well-rounded Christian young boys, and these are the boys we want our girls to go to the dance with, because then we know that they won't be rubbing fronts. Hey, guess what? There's people raw dogging in the bathroom stall. Like there's front rubbage going on. So I don't want to hear it. But my prom, I was not dating anybody. And not only that, I was a fucking loser. I was a theater kid who was chubby. So no one was inviting me to the boys' prom. But then the girls' prom, obviously, like I'm going to because I am a girl. So I invited one of my gay male theater friends that like went to some other public school. And like, it was fine. I had a shitty time. I don't remember prom being fun for me at all. My dress was like not super cute. My date was like a fucking dud. I didn't like my friends. People were mean to me. We went to someone's parents belonged to a country club, and they were like hosting the before prom pictures. So I went to that, and it was like just so bizarre. My dress was baby pink, which does not really work with my pale pasty complexion, by the way. And then it had beading up top, and this was pre-breast reduction, so I remember like there were only certain styles that I could go with because my tits were huge, and like I didn't want my tits hanging out and being the talk of my Catholic town. So I had a halter neck dress, and it was awesome because I remember getting it altered and they sewed like cups in, and it was the first time in my life I didn't have to wear a bra because my boobs were so big, and that was so freeing and liberating. Yeah, I don't know. I remember going. It's not like we drank and had fun because once again I was a nerd, and they were super strict about the vice principal was at the prom checking people in, and she had a breathalyzer. And she could breathalyze you if she wanted to. So, like, I don't really think people would drink. I think they would go out after and drink, like go to people's houses. But I wasn't cool and I had no friends, so I certainly didn't go to that. And it sucked because I was part of this friend group, I remember in high school, that, like, every single one of them had gotten invited to the boys' prom except me. And they're like, why aren't you going to the boys' prom? And I was like, oh, the flu. I didn't get invited because everyone thought I was a loser and annoying, which may or may not be true. And I also very vividly remember I did actually have the flu like a week before prom, and it was the best because I lost like 10 pounds due to vomiting my guts out, and then like that dress zipped like a fucking race car on a racetrack. And I was like, maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's the flu. So yeah, and then my prom sucked. I never spoke to my date again after that. Actually, there's tea. We had like a big falling out, me and that little theater kid. It was something like he was here. Let me think back to when I was 16. He was mad at me for something, and like people were texting me and like our mutual friends and were like, I heard that your dad had a heart attack and died. And I was like, what? And they were like, name redacted is going around saying that you told him your dad had a heart attack and died. And I was like, why would I say that? Not only has he not had a heart attack and died, but that's like a very easily proven untrue fact. He's right here. My dad, I've never told anyone my dad has had a heart attack and died because he hasn't. the fuck? And then they were like, no, we saw text messages. And they showed me like text messages that were between me and this kid. And I was like, that's not me. This kid's a psycho. He made fake text messages. I remember this so clearly because I think it was my first introduction with someone who like, oh, you are a problem. Like you have an issue. You are crazy. Because this random fucking kid that I haven't spoken to since I was 16 made fake text messages with me where I was like, my dad had a heart attack and died. And he was like, Julia's saying that her dad had a heart attack and died for attention. And I was like, I've never fucking said that. Who would say that? My dad's right here. What the hell? And I remember calling him being like, are you telling people that I said my dad had a heart attack and died? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, why are you doing that? And he was like, because you need to be humbled. You deserve it. And he was just doing it to like take me down a peg, unsure. But then I was like, you're crazy. And he was like, you should kill yourself. And I was like, oh. And I haven't spoken to that kid since. Wonder where he is now. Probably nutso bonkers. Well, wherever he is, I hope he's doing well because he really needed like some emotional help because that was crazy. Who starts a rumor that someone else's parent is dead? What the fuck? You're a psycho. If you're out there, you're a psycho. Yeah, but then I didn't get invited to the boys' prom because all my friends were gay men or psychopaths or gay psychopaths. And this is the result. Isn't that a crazy story? I remember that. I remember being at my friend's I can't say names. I was at my friend's house and I called this kid on speaker and he was like, you should kill yourself. And I was like, what are we, 10? It looks like this girl broke into a bakery and tried to eat all the pies. I have a gun. I'm at the gun store. I will have sex with your father. Thank you, Caleb Heron. I wish I knew Caleb Heron back then and knew that quote because I would have said that to him. I should kill myself. I'll literally like fucking dox you to the masses. Don't get on my level. You're a freak. And I don't know where he is now. What a weird kid. Anyway, I remember prom ending and I went home and went to bed because I was a dork and I had no friends. It's weird. I like enjoyed high school. But I like every single memory I have is like not me with it's like this group of people that I really got closer to my senior year of high school. So I really only had one good year of high school. And that was that. So then senior ball, that was much more enjoyable for me. I had a boyfriend at the time and he went to the boys' Catholic school because I was like, let me fill my womanly duties as a woman of God and date this man of God. And then we'll both have premarital sex. So because I had him, I went to the boys' senior ball and then he came to my senior ball. And for mine, I wore a white bodycon dress because this is back when I was skinty. Well, I was like chubby for a Catholic school girl, but like I could work it. I wore a white dress and like had red earrings and red heels. And then he got me like a red corsage and he had a red boutonniere. We were killing it with the coordination. What else? Then the boys' prom or the boys' senior ball, my dress was like a little baby pink. What was with me with that? What was my issue with baby pink, cream puff pink? It doesn't look good on my skin. I think now if I could wear a prom dress, I would wear, let's see. It'd have to be like a fit and flare or an A-line of sorts. And I just wish I knew how to be a girl with big boobs. I was always really bad at dressing my boobs because if you wear anything that has too much cleavage, like it looks really slutty on. And I know that that's a derogatory term, as it should be, because I was literally 16 years old and like, sorry, I had big boobs. I don't know where else to put them. So sorry that they're out. But I was like very self-conscious of how I looked all the time and what I was wearing, and like bathing suits were impossible. And I'm so glad I got them reduced. They're still pretty big. I don't know if you can see these tatas. I think I'm like a double D maybe, but that's just because I've like gained weight since my surgery. And I just know how to work my boobs so much better. Like I know what bra styles work best and what shirts work best with those bras. And I also now, like, I'm a full adult woman and I don't feel that weird about having like my boobs out at certain times. Like if I'm going out, like I don't feel like I look disgusting because like I'm like tastefully have cleavage. Do you know? So I've boob matured, one might say. So I wish I knew that when I was shopping for a prom dress. I wish I knew that like I didn't have to just wear like a high neck thing to like cover my boobs. I could like tastefully have them out. But that didn't happen. No. The style in, let's see, I would have gone to prom in 2017, 2018? No, 2017. No, I don't know. One of those. The style was, everyone was really into those Sherri Hill, like tablecloth looking dresses. Do you know what I'm talking about? They were like patterned like very intricately, like a paisley moment. Don't like that. I don't know what we were thinking. I'm glad I didn't pick one of those because now I would look back and be like, ooh. And like my dresses was nothing special, but it wasn't like hideous, you know? So it's fine. But yeah, people loved like a Sherri Hill tablecloth window drape moment. I did not. And then this was really funny too. This is like lore specific to my high school, but the day before prom is something called the junior ring ceremony. And basically at my high school, you get these rings. I have mine on still. I wear it all the time, which is like embarrassing, but you get a class ring and it's got like your name engraved and like a priest blesses it because we're Catholic, don't forget. And this is important apparently to have a blessed ring. And it's got my name in it. And then like you're supposed to like go to people that you love and trust and they're supposed to like turn the ring and it's for good luck. I don't know. It's really stupid, but it's like a tradition in my high school that's been there for a bajillion years. So it's a very big deal to get your junior ring. And then we had a half day. So we'd have the junior ring ceremony and then a half day so that you could go home and get ready for prom that night. But the gag is a lot of girls would want to get their tans before junior ring too. So like that whole week leading up to prom was like everyone was absent because they'd be like going to their tanning appointments in the middle of the fucking school day. And our vice principal, I remember, was like such a baddie, and she like made an announcement and she's like, hey girls, by the way, like if you need to leave school to get your tan, like just tell me that's what you're doing. Please stop forging doctor's notes and giving them to me and saying you need to be excused because you have a doctor's appointment. Like if you need to get your nails done or get your tan, like just say that and I'll be like, do what you got to do, girl. Like I understand. And that's feminism. So loved that. And let's see, what was like the song that was playing during 2017 prom? Maybe like Rockstar, Post Malone. I feel like that probably played. I don't know anyone also who's still dating whoever they went to fucking prom with. I don't think so anyway. Again, senior ball was fun. I remember after senior ball, like because I was dating a guy and the guy was cool, I was like cool by proxy. So I got invited to like an after party and like drank a beer. So that's exciting. But before that, man, I was a Dorcas McGorcas. You've no fucking clue. And I certainly didn't lose my virginity on prom night to the gay psychopath. I didn't lose my virginity after senior ball either. It probably wasn't long after that, but it wasn't that night. I'll tell you that much. So that's just a little lore from me. I do wish TikTok was there when I was in high school because I do love a good prom transition. I think those are fun. I did see one though where it was like a bunch of girls getting ready together for prom. Like they set up a bunch of mirrors and we're all doing their makeup together. Absolutely not. Me doing my makeup is a solitary experience. I need like dead silent. I need a true crime documentary going on my phone. I need to be by myself. I need to be sipping a beverage. I need a candle to be lit. Like it is a ritual. It's a sacred act. I can't have no other little bitches there snapping their compacts and clicking and a clacking. No, it's a solitary sacred experience for me. No. And I guess the fact that I didn't have a date a boyfriend, a lot of those transitions would not have worked for me. Like no dip and kiss moment with the gay psychopath. And I don't remember it being very fun. Is that a bummer? Kinda. But in the moment, it's like such a big deal. It's your prom. It's exciting. And I also might just like be from a town where like prom is not. I know like in the South, prom is a huge deal. Here's a fun fact for you. Boutonniere is French for booty is near. And that's why everyone gets laid on prom night. I don't make the rules. I'm all in favor of like a timeless prom look because there is like something about looking back and being like, oh my God, that was so ugly. Even though like obviously at the time it was trendy. I remember there was one girl, my sister's prom would have been like 2011. And there was a girl at my sister's prom who wore a hot pink and cheetah print prom dress. And now it's like, oh my God, call an ambulance. That's crazy. But at the time, I'm sure she thought she ate. And she probably did eat, actually. Like even a wedding dress. Although I do love like the motif of a crazy 80s wedding dress. So maybe I disagree with my own point. Maybe wear something that is so trendy that the photos are a time capsule in and of themselves. It is kind of fun to like have a wedding dress or a prom dress or something and have a picture of it and be like, oh, I know exactly what year I got married. That is kind of fun. I get that. So the moral is actually wear whatever the fuck you want. I don't remember there being much of like a dress code at my prom, but there had to have been because it was a Catholic girls' school. So they had to have some rules. I do know they were really weird about bringing a same-sex date because it's a Catholic school and they're assholes. I remember this one girl, my senior year, tried to bring another girl that went to our high school because they were dating. And then they decided to like introduce a new rule that like no one from any other grade can go. Like they have to be a junior or senior or whatever it was. And this girl was not. But it was just like a rule simply made so that this girl couldn't bring her girlfriend to prom. And so that was an asshole move. They had a tendency to make some asshole moves. I wonder if they've like improved with that. If you go to my high school now, let me know. But prom, what can you do? Also, let me tell you what I don't like. I don't think I like a flat at prom. I don't care if you're really tall and you're scared of being taller than your date. This is your prom, girl. Where are those heels? Stunt on them. No one's looking at the man in a prom picture. They're looking at the girl's dress and how good the girl looks. Like no one cares about like what fucking kind of suit the man has. Wear a heel, wear a crazy hair, like wear what you want to prom. Don't wear a flat because your date is short. That's not your fault, girl. That's not your fault. Go crazy. Do I have any other like prom remarks? I don't know. I do remember there being like a little bit of drama with getting the limo because it was like one person is like booking the limo and then everyone has to pay that person. And we're all in high school and like don't have jobs. And I know people were like, I have an issue with the cost. And it's like, girl, we all go to this private Catholic school. Like you don't have a problem with the cost. Be so fucking for real. And like you're going to fuck if we're not going to not let you pay for the limo. You have to pay for the limo. Everyone's paying for the limo. You know? And then it just sucks because like one person is in charge of booking it and like they have to like there's probably like a waiver they got to sign and like get everyone to sign it and like a parent has to be responsible and that's so much responsibility for a high schooler. So that sucks. I don't even know if I went in a limo for my senior ball. I do know that my boyfriend at the time took me to our senior ball and on the way there we killed a bird. We hit a bird with the car. So that I guess that was an omen for the fact that we were probably going to break up, which we did. But hey, if I could do prom all over again, especially the one where I brought the date that I then would despise, I would say don't bring a date to prom. Go with a group of girlfriends and dance. That sounds more fun to me. Maybe take an edible before so you can like at least have like a fun time without worrying about the assistant principal nun with her breathalyzer. But just like have a good time and maybe like do a little dance and a little twirl and like take a little pic and maybe post it and then go to bed. That's what I would do, and I wish I did. And just be really wary with the fake tan because it probably doesn't look good. So, just like be self-aware. But I've been loving prom talk. I've been loving it. I love looking at a good dress lineup, and I don't know. I love youthful innocence. So go out there and dance your little heart out with a styrofoam flip-flop provided by the venue. And that's all I got to say about that.